Very good evening to everyone present here. This is Aarti, Data Management Lead of Cyber Club. I'm extremely elated to see you all again today in the day 3 session of Flutter Finesse, the ultimate Flutter Mastery Bootcamp. Setbacks lead to strong comebacks, and we are grateful to have a trust that has made us all meet here today in this amazing session. Now, here is Mr. Achintya Singh, our wonderful Flutter Mastery, who will take the event forward.
So, hello everyone, whether I'm audible or not, can you guys just tell me?
Yeah, audible.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so today we will be starting as I am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, as I promised you that today we will be starting with a proper concept of Flutter. That day we had a discussion about like what Flutter is, how it got evolved and why we should choose Flutter and many such things we saw, right? So, without wasting the time, like I will be directly coming into some theoretical concepts will be there, obviously, but I also don't believe much on, theoretical concepts. I am a practical guy, so we'll see some very deep concept that even people who will be into industry for more than 1 or 2 years, they also don't know about this because I have some documentation which are like that. Okay, so that how Flutter works, or even you should have this question in mind that how a technology can get so much evolved that I don't have to write a code for iOS and I get the application, right? So we'll see these things and then we will start with our coding part. So there is some sort of documentation, some PPT that I have made, not a very big one. Okay, so this is just a glance of what we are going to do today. Okay, yeah. So first of all, like we will be seeing that what Flutter is. We have seen already what Flutter is in the sense that technically what it is now. That day we saw that how publicly it is, why should we start it, and that's it. Today we will see technically what it is. Okay, how a folder structure of Flutter is maintained. What do you need to do in Flutter? Okay, so what Flutter provides us, from basics, and what do you need to add into it? What is your contribution into it? There are many things that we will be seeing. Okay. This is something called folder structure that we'll be seeing once we create a new project. I hope you guys have done the installation part. So you would have done this. You would have seen this sort of project folder structure already. You would have seen. Uh, is there anyone like who didn't do any sort of installation is remaining or something like that? Just raise your hands, okay? Because that is really important. We will
No, just
be
before
going with.
that, your video is like blurred, like it's not clear. The screen you share and the video. You can see now, it's not clear.
Now,
No, it's not just clear.
wait, let me rejoin once.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, how about now? Now is it clear? Hello?
No, it's getting loaded once again. No, bro. Like it's like
Share it then.
slightly pixelated.
So now is it visible screen? Hello? Hello, bro.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, yeah, so let's start now. So yeah, we'll be seeing some core concepts. Okay, so let me come into the PPT part for now first. We will see about the folder structure, how a folder structure of Flutter is. Okay, sorry, just a second. Yeah, better now. Okay, so folder structure of Flutter, along with that, how and where do you write your code actually? See, you don't have to do anything much into your all the folders. You don't have to go into each and every folder separately and do something. There is a single folder called this lib where you have to write your Dart code. Okay, later sometime when you come to advanced level things, or you need to give permission to people to particular operating systems, at that time you have to do some sort of additions in this Android folder, iOS folder separately. Okay, so what I will show you now is this particular documentation that I have prepared. Okay, now this documentation contains some, you can say, secrets maybe of Flutter. Okay, let's start. Like, I'll read it out mostly, like you will understand. I have prepared it in such a way that it is very much understandable. Okay, the term Flutter refers to two major things: Flutter SDK and Flutter framework. See, SDK means software development kit. Anything that you use, even if you are going with Java, you would have heard about something called JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, so every thing that you start needs some sort of kit in order to localize your computer or your desktop or your system for that particular environment. Okay, like if you want to use Java, okay, Java is a software. Okay, without installation or without making your desktop compatible for it, we can't use Java in our environment. That's a fact. Similarly, here we have Flutter. A Windows desktop that you buy from market doesn't has Flutter installed in it, so you need to install it. You need to make your system eligible in order to run Flutter applications or the things related to Flutter. Secondly, you have Flutter framework. Now these two are two different things. Let's see what they basically means. Flutter SDK is a collection of tools that allow you to build any kind of app for both Android and iOS. I have listed out some of the tools here. You have scaffold, row, column, container. We'll see this. You'll see this. These are only the things that you use in order to code and build your applications. Okay, then you have Flutter framework. Flutter framework is basically, it provides all the predefined widgets. As I told you, Flutter is nothing but depends only on widgets, totally widget library, utility functions and packages. We know Flutter uses Dart as a programming language. I hope you guys know this till now. And apps built developed by Flutter can be run on both Android, iOS, web. There are many. Okay, and so that we need to compile Dart code to native machine. And yeah, let's go how a Flutter code gets compiled. Okay, how a Flutter code gets compiled. Let's see this. See, um, when we were learning C++ or C language, there was some part where we learned about how a C code or how a C++ code gets compiled, right? Similarly, we need to, first of all, yeah, Flutter Dart is also a compiler related, like compiler language. Like you have interpreter and compiler, so Dart is a compiler thing. And how it does is, it takes the Flutter's API and you write your Dart code, and it gets compiled into both Android and iOS separately, native codes. Compilation task is done by the SDK, that is the software development kit. Okay, While talking about compilation, there are two things: static and dynamic interpretation. Two things you have. Let's see each of them what they are. Okay. Statically compiled programs are all translated into machine code before execution. Yeah, you would have heard about ahead of time and just in time. These two terms, actually, these are very important terms, and in advanced level, interview questions and all, they can be asked that what is ahead of time, or why do we call C++ as ahead of time, and why do we call JavaScript or Java as just in time. So guys, see, statically compiled programs are all translated into machine code before the execution part. Okay, that is basically your this and compiler thing, right? So once you run your program, once I run my program, it will be compiled into a machine code. Then that machine code creates a output that you see on your screens. Okay, before execution it get converted to the machine code. But dynamic interpretation is executed by one-on-one translation. That is, you would have heard about compiler, interpreter, these two differences you will be knowing, the basic differences, right? That interpreter executes line by line, each and every line is read, and if there is some error in between, it will stop the program, right? And that is not the case in a compiler. It will compile whole code and then it will tell you where all error was there. So this is basically just a more advanced concept into compiler and interpreter. Okay. Now we know how a Dart code gets converted into machine code and two kinds of compilation. And these are again some theoretical things that if you want to read, you can read. Okay. I will come directly to a diagram that I want to show you. This diagram. Okay. See, this is the framework, Dart framework. You have material things, Cupertino. Now, material is a thing that Android uses. Cupertino is a library that iOS uses. You build your widgets. It will be rendered, and you use animation, painting, gestures, many things. So gestures means basically all that sort of buttons. Painting means all the sort of column, row that I'm gonna tell you, after some time. And animations also, you know what is animation. Okay. So these things come under framework, Dart framework or Flutter framework that you call. And the engine, that engine which does the compilation part, or all the Dart code gets converted into Android compiled, and iOS and all those things, that is done by these C++ engine. So yeah, again C++ comes into view here, and there is something called Skia. Okay, now you can go and just search about this particular term. This is again a very big topic. Okay, so this is how Flutter code gets rendered and you see the output. I again have once if you have a MacBook, you will know, if you develop applications for iOS, there is something called Apple's Metal Engine, which actually is responsible to run the iOS applications or make the applications eligible to run on this particular iOS, environment or operating system. So Flutter's rendering engine is called Skia, which re-renders the entire app's UI on iOS, particularly iOS I'm talking, using this Metal engine, which is called Apple's Metal Engine. There are no UI components rendered, unlike native iOS development. So actually, when you develop in Swift or C Sharp directly, okay, only for iOS, those actually, when you just give a restart, or that day I was talking about the some advantages in those, that I told a point, reload and restart. That is a very good feature of Flutter. So when you click on reload, when you just reload your application, when you make some small change and when you click on reload, what happens is basically it doesn't re-renders whole thing, or it doesn't starts the code from the main function. I hope you guys know that every code starts from a main function, right? So it doesn't means that when you do a reload or restart, I'll prove you this thing when we will be making some basic application. I'll prove you this thing. It doesn't starts from the main function again. It just re-renders that particular file, or just some things. Okay, so that's what it is written here. There are no UI components re-rendered, unlike native iOS development. It's all painted on the screen using Apple's Metal Engine. And there is a 3D debugging that I did once I got a MacBook and I did this. You can see that this is a sort of debugging I have done. Like, I ran an application, and this is how it renders. See, in sort of levels, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 layers, and this metal layer, it basically means that there is some, as I told you, Apple's Metal Engine, which runs for Apple's iOS application. So this is how Flutter works, and it is not, you can't say that it just converts the code into Swift and that Swift code gets yeah, that Swift code is running in the iOS environment. No, Flutter is running its own. Okay, so that was something. I will share this documentation with you guys. You can go through it. Okay, this is very important. Like, these are some, I know no one is going to remember this. Even I don't remember many sort of things. I just remember some words like Skia, Apple Metal Engine, and some words from this. But if you tell me without seeing that, just explain me this thing, maybe I get stuck somewhere, because these are theoretical concepts that you don't have to use every day. Okay, so but if you have documentations prepared, so when you go to interviews or when you go to some sort of tests or something, you can have a look on it. So that's why I keep some documentation. So now let's come back to our PPT. Okay, okay, so let's talk about now the folder structure of Flutter. Okay, now we will be coming to the coding part mostly. Okay, we have this Flutter project. I hope you guys, if when you would have downloaded it, I showed the in the video itself, there was a part that how to create a new project. So I hope you have created a new project and you would have something like this interface, maybe in Android Studio again. So don't worry, you run in Android Studio, I'm running in VS Code. It's not a fault, any sort of difference doesn't make any difference. Okay, so let's see, you have a folder structure here, proper folder structure here that you can see here. Okay, you have some folders called dot tool id dot idea, Android assets, build. You won't see this asset folder in your project. Build, iOS, lib, Linux, Mac OS. So that day I told you that these are some Android, iOS, Linux, Mac OS, and web. These are operating systems and the web environment. Okay, so let's not talk about this thing, because these are having the code of their native. So whatever Flutter code you write here, it's okay. I'll show you just a small glimpse of how a Flutter code gets. I have just I this is an application that I have already run into my this. Okay, and if I show you a small example, if I come to the Android code of this, if I try to find it, you will see there is no code here. It's just written some sort of main activity, Flutter activity. Now I don't know Kotlin, but still from this line I have understood that it is not allowing the native code of Android to do anything. It's just sending somewhere to Flutter. That's it. And Flutter is performing everything. Even if I go into Java part, you will see that there is some sort of plugins. Now these plugins actually are the the permissions that you have, like reading the contacts and all those things, which you would have seen it in many application. When you just open some application, it will ask you for some permission, that do you want to give a permission to use Bluetooth or some things, right? So you get some plugins here. You can add the permissions in this file. Basically, Android manifest.xml is a file for that. Okay, and you have more use of Android folder. I will tell you when we will be starting with backend. Mostly you have some backend things which you need to add. Okay, and then you have your iOS folder. Here also you will see a Flutter folder which is doing everything. Okay, then you have a web one. Even I can run this project and show you that how it runs on web. See, I'll just select this is Chrome. It is selected already. Okay, it is selected. Now if I try to run this out, just check it. Okay, how it runs in web environment. Okay, so yeah, now, but actually Flutter is not made for web. Yeah, Flutter you can use for web also, web applications. There I will show you some websites maybe that I have also made, but Flutter doesn't has a proper implementation for web for now. No one knows what happens in future. Okay, but for now you don't have any much sort of implementation for web. It doesn't supports SEO, that is called search engine optimization. It doesn't support. So if you try to search some website, if you sort of create a website in Flutter, and if you expect that your application comes on your domain comes on top when it is searched on Google, don't expect that, because Flutter doesn't supports for now this SEO features. Okay, okay, so you can see that this is a Flutter application running on web. Okay, you can just directly host it onto your anywhere, Vercel, Netlify and all these places also. So this is web part. You would have run in Android also. I hope when you installed it, you would have run it in Android also. iOS, if you guys have MacBook, yeah, for iOS, yeah, you need a MacBook in order to run. Okay, when I'm coding here, all the files are prepared in iOS, but we have one, we can say I have one shortage or limitation that I can't run a iOS application on a Windows device because Apple doesn't allows that. Basically, Flutter allows it, Apple doesn't allows. Okay. Is my audio audible? Is my voice audible? Hello. Can
You're
someone
audible.
confirm once?
Yeah,
Audible,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Because some guys is complaining that. And my chat is also proper, right? Sorry, the screen.
Yeah, it is proper. Yeah, it is proper.
Okay. Okay, my camera is not working right. Just a second. Uh, so this was the folder structure of um, Android. You saw iOS, you saw web. Web is running already here in my environment. And let's talk about assets folder. Now see, every application when you make or any website you make, you have some sort of images, right? Who doesn't insert images in their application or websites? You have some sort of videos, GIFs running. You have some Lottie files. What is a Lottie file? I will show you that also. Amazing sort of animations. So those things are kept in something called assets folder. Again, you can keep this assets folder inside your lib folder also or anywhere. Just you need to make sure that that dependency needs to be added here, that location needs to be added here. Okay, so just we'll be seeing this how to add assets in your Flutter project. Then you have your packages. Yeah, see, everything you can't make by yourself, right? Like suppose if I show you some application, maybe okay, let me talk about this is app bar, this is some text, these are some basic things that you have. Okay, but when you see a complex application, like let's talk about a navigation bar that you see on bottom. You would have seen in some, like mostly all applications, you have a bottom navigation bar where you have a home button, profile button, that thing, right? Now you get in Flutter also, that thing you get in Flutter also. But today's world, like you have lots of animation, you have lots of customizations in that. So there are a lot of packages available for that, and not only for that, for everything you have packages. Okay? So that day I showed you a website called Flutter Gems, and even I showed you pub.dev where you have all the documentation and packages available. So those things need to be added here in this file pubspec.yml. So this is also one of the very important file that you have in your Flutter project. And this pubspec.log file is a, you can say, compiled form of pubspec.yml, this file. Okay, so yup, this was all about Flutter folder. Now you can ignore now all the other files you have, analysis options and all these things. Okay, we don't need all these things. This was our Flutter folder structure. Okay, now to go more deep into it, if you want to even analyze this analysis options, these files, you can just go and Google it out. Okay, test folder, I will tell you what is test folder. In order to test your widgets, in order to test your application, unit testing you would have heard about in software development. So unit testing is performed by this particular folder called test. In this you can test all your small widgets here one by one. Okay, that's all about a Flutter folder structure. Now we'll be getting into some more concepts. Main.dart file. Yup. When I talk about any sort of programming language, any programming language, okay, you would know that every program starts from a main function, right? There is a main function that is a entry point to that program, or which is an entry point, right? So here also, obviously, in Dart is nowhere different to other programming language. You would have to keep some sort of things here also, right? So you have a main.dart file here, which is the entry point of your application, and in this main.dart file only you have your main function. You can see here, this is the main function. If I try to comment it out and I try to run the application, you will don't expect. Yeah, one thing I can show you, that when I click on, this is the reload, hot reload, as I told you, this is the hot reload. If I click on this, you can see it is saying me there is no entry point called main function. So that's what is a proof that every program starts from a main function, and that is nowhere different. Okay, so yeah, this was about our main function, main.dart file. Let's read also something about it. Yep. Write your app source code in code editor like this. Yeah, anything you can use. Click the run button. Okay, your app runs in an emulator or physical device. You would have done this already. Let's move on with a flow chart. Yeah, this flow chart I have created. Okay, now this flow chart is very important. Very important means very important because this is how we are gonna work. Okay, this is how a project, when you click on run, it works. Okay, so see, start. Everyone knows about flow chart, right? All the boxes and diamond and all those things, right? So let's start here. Create a Flutter project. Already we have done this step. Create a widget tree. Okay, this is a thing that we need to do now. Create a widget tree. Then you have define the root widget. Root widget basically means, this is the root widget for here. For now, this material app is the root widget. So after main function, what main function is gonna execute? You need to give this, right? Like, you are starting the main function. In main function you call other functions or you make objects of other classes, right? In object oriented programming, what do? You have classes. Okay, you would be knowing that unless an object is made for a class, it doesn't acquire, occupies any space in your storage. As soon as you make a object, that is the time it will occupy some space in your system. Okay, similarly here also you need to give an some sort of class or some sort of object that needs to be rendered. So my app is the class that I have given. So this is the entry point, this is the parent, that is root widget that we have written here. Define a root widget. The root widget is defined here. Then define child widget. See, after I come here in my this class, my app class, I have a build widget. Build widget is something that is, again, in each class you will see here, whatever you will build here, you will have a build widget. Why a build widget? Where it is coming from, and how what is this stateless widget? He didn't explain about stateless, and directly he's going in. Wait. We'll be seeing everything. Each of these things that you are seeing here is coming from this particular library called material.dart. Got it? Material.dart is the library that where it has where this material dot is coming from. If you will ask, downloaded the Flutter thing, what was the space it was taking in your system? It's around 1 GB, 2 GB, right? What is that 1 GB, 2 GB occupying? It's this only, this material.dart, and there are more packages, all the icons that you have with Flutter, right? So all those things that is coming is taking that 2 GB. And this material.dart is only the package, or you can say the software development kit thing, which provides you each and everything like row, column, all the widgets, this build widget, the stateless widget, stateful widget. Main function, no, main function is, that it is a Dart code. Okay. So basically Flutter is just a frame. See, yeah, one more thing I forgot to tell you guys, that you would have heard about library, you would have heard about packages, you would have heard about frameworks, right? Now, what is the hierarchy, and are these things related to each other? Yes, they are very much related. When I talk about when I talk about a library, when I say this word library, what should come in your mind? You will say that a single file, this I have main.dart, is a library. That's it. Okay, when I package, a package is a collection of libraries. Okay, and what is a framework? Framework is again a collection of packages. So this is how it's a hierarchy: library, package, then you have a framework. Okay, so Flutter is a collection of so many packages. Now those packages will have a collection of so many libraries. One of the library or package you can say is material.dart. Even you can just click on control and you can enter here and you can read all the code that you have. And you can see nothing is here. There is no code here. Everything is exported. And that's why it is called a package, because you can see everything is exported and you have everything differently. About.dart. Here also, here you have some code. Then you have action buttons.dart. So everything you can see that you have here is getting exported from here. That means it is not a library. It is a sort of, so many libraries you have made and you are collecting it in this material.dart. Okay. Everything you can see here, many things you will see here. Okay. So text widget, you will be using some sort of text buttons, you will be using fields, whatever you will see that comes from this material.dart library. Okay. And we'll talk about this stateless stateful widgets after some time. Okay. Okay, let's go there then. let's start. Let's see this. Okay, define child widgets, render widgets on screen. Now this is not this is just a sentence. Render widgets on screen. Whatever widgets you see here, whatever code I have written here, we need to render it on the screen, and that is only called rendering of the widget on screen. Listen for user interactions. Okay, so yeah, this is one very important thing. Now this is a static thing. I don't have any button or anything, so I don't have to do anything. So if you see the flowchart also, I have made in such a way. See, I have written here render widgets on screen, then listen for user interactions. But if you don't have any buttons, you can't listen to any user interaction. So directly end it. Got it? This is how a flowchart works, right? So there is no user interaction, just end it. If there is some sort of user interaction, what do we have to do? Update the widget state. Okay, now what is this? We'll prepare some application, then only you will come to know. I'll prepare a new project. When I will run it, it will be seen clearly. This steps will be seen. Now, this whole box why I have made this orange, what is this? This is basically the widget tree. Okay, widget tree is, how a tree is like, you would have heard about a tree in data structures, right? What is a tree data structure? It's like a data structure that, um, follows some sort of hierarchy, right? We'll not go into deep about it, but what is it like? It follows some sort of hierarchy. You have something on top, then you have left and right child, then below that, then you have leaf nodes, and all those things, right? Similarly, here also you have a tree following. So you will be having some parent widget, below that you have a child widget, of that child also something can be a child. So this is how a widget tree also works, and this is a whole widget this whole things, the whole process comes inside the widget tree. And yep, so let's move on. Now we will be starting with the core concepts or coding, you can say. Okay, tight material app, first widget, your first widget comes here. Before this, I will be talking about the stateless stateful widget that I was saying for so long. Stateful widget and stateless widget. Yeah, this is a stateless widget, this is a stateful widget. Okay, let me show you this by creating a new project, and we will run it. If you have your laptops also, you can just connect your smartphone, you can start the debugging and all those things, and you can also create a new project and run it. Till then I will also do that, because it is going to take time if you create a new project. Okay, and you will run it. So now you can come to your laptop and you can also perform with me. Okay. Okay, so we are creating a new project. Here we have a new project now. Okay, so I have to connect my smartphone and all. So just give me 1 minute. Guys, you can also connect your smartphones and all. Like, we will be making some basic application today. Yeah. You should connect your phone with the charger cable and that developer option and all those things which I have told you already in the video. Those should be enabled in your. Guys, whoever has doubt, you can just unmute yourself and you can just ask, and we'll take 5 minutes for, like, if you guys have any doubt. Okay, till now whatever I taught, like, all was theoretical, I know. But if you guys by chance you would have any doubt or something, or even you are not able to do any setup, just ask me. Okay. Not about Flutter installation, that will take much time if you guys have not done, but about the phone connection and all. So I'll just help. Yes, Abhinav. Yes, Abhinav. क्लास को मैं बेसिक से रिलेट कर लिया है। मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाया है, जिसमें प्रोजेक्ट काम करते हैं, एक प्रोजेक्ट मैंने बाद में रिलेट बनाया है, ठीक है। और तो ना मॉडल तो बेसिक आ गया, लेकिन एक्चुअली दोनों में काम करते हैं तो मैं हैंडल करते हैं, काम करते guys, those who have connected, can you just raise your hands so that like I will start then. Okay, so let's start. Okay, how many guys? How many of you are available here? Like we have 84, but how many of you are really there? Okay. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay. I'll show you. I'll just show you. Okay. My screen is visible, right? Okay, so this is our phone screen. Okay. What do you have to do is, this is my phone is MIUI operating system. Just go to your settings, go to about phone. You will have MIUI version. Okay. Just click 10 times here. Okay, just click 10 times. Click like keep clicking here. You will get here that you are now a developer, something like that. Okay. And then you just have to search here developer options. Okay, you will have to search here developer options. It will just search and you will get this. Just go to developer options, come down, switch on this USB debugging, switch on this install via security. You can switch on all these 4 options. That's it. And then connect your smartphone with that cable, charging cable. And you will have an option where you will be asked in the smartphone, allow USB debugging or not. Just accept it. That's it. This is the procedure. Okay. Now I hope you guys can do. And it's very important that you follow with me. It will be really really very helpful, very helpful. But if you think that recording will come and you will do, it's like, really, do you think you're gonna watch the recording? You will get it obviously, but it will be a very long, around 2 hours recording. It will be very boring. So try to follow here itself. Okay, because I'm gonna explain each and every step, each and everything that happens. It will not be like just he's running the application and showing. I'll make sure that thing. So I hope you guys have done all these things. Now let's start running the applications. So directly for now, what I'll do is I'll just click on run here. It will take time, obviously. Till then, I will explain you this code which you have here on your screen. Okay. See, when I started Flutter, I first time when I saw this Flutter project, I read these lines. What I read these lines. That time less lines were there. Now it's like more. That time we had less lines. So just let's try to just read this line and let's try to understand whether we understand this or not. Okay, let's try to just read this line and let's try to understand whether we can understand this or not. If not, then I'm sitting here. Okay, so stateless widget, I'll just tell you now. Build widget also will tell you. Okay, and then you have these lines. Let's read this. Okay, the widget is the root of your application. See, this widget is the root of your application, and that's what I mentioned here in the flowchart also. Okay, one more thing, you will, when you run the application, you will get something like this. Just install it. Okay, just allow that, otherwise it will not run. Okay, now see, you
Was it
have
like, hello?
yeah.
Like, is it possible to explain again, like how to connect the phone to the laptop and the develop options for just one time? Because few are
Sure,
asking
once.
about it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You just have to go to your settings, come to the developer options, and this is not a emulator. Okay, don't worry, it is a physical device only. I will show, if I will tell you this step also, how you can see it on your screen. Okay, just sorry, just go to about phone, click 10 times on this. In different phones it will be at different places, but on something it will be. So just find that thing on which it is showing you this. You are already a developer, or you will be prompted with something called like, you are 5 steps away from being a developer, you are 4 steps away, 3 steps away, like that. Okay, so just find that particular thing on which clicking 10 times it is showing you that. And once you are a developer, it will show you that now you are a developer. Just come to the settings, just search here developer. You will get this developer options. Just come down and start these 4 options. Just enable these 4 options. That's it. If you, any one of you has problem, just unmute yourself and ask. I hope you guys have done this now. And after doing this, then you can just run the application.
I see. Like, you are free to unmute. If you have any doubts, you can unmute and ask.
Yeah, please do.
Attendance link, like it'll be like posted at the end of the session. Okay, so wait till then. I think for Sahil it's a problem, Cynthia. Like, it's not coming from any.
Okay, I'll see
Yeah.
that what problem he's getting. It's not coming in my phone. Which phone do you have, No, for one UI where you have just searched it, bro. For OnePlus, where to
Actually, this
enable.
exists for an each and every phone. Okay, so like
For OnePlus, you have it. Yeah, yeah. You can just check it out. See how to enable. Just click on the settings about. Tap on build number. For OnePlus, you have build number. Tap on that for 10 times. This is which OnePlus, na? You would okay. This is OnePlus, right? Motorola. For Motorola also you can search here. For OnePlus, click on 10. Click 10 times for build number. For Motorola also check it. It's that easy, guys. Just see. Yeah, on Motorola also you have build number only. For Samsung, okay. For Samsung also will search. Yes, guys, these things are you can do by yourself. Every phone has a developer option. Yeah. For Samsung, you have on general settings, general developer option. You will have somewhere here. Here also, I guess on build number only you will be having in Samsung also. Just give after I give all the options, will it just show in the laptop? Yeah. When you will do this now, I will show you in Android Studio also where it will show. Okay. So in Android Studio, if you guys are using Android Studio, try to use Android Studio only, I will say, because I have done setup for VS Code. That's why it is running here. Otherwise, it doesn't, it will not show you the devices option. Very rarely people get it. So I will tell you, I will suggest you use Android Studio only. Mhm. See, in Android Studio, you will be, as soon as your developer option is enabled and that 4 options are enabled, particularly, you will get here something like this. See. Okay. See, no devices. Currently here it is showing no devices. When you will do this, see, it automatically got connected. Got it? So I told you about both the IDs. After becoming developer, what should I do? Okay, see. Just come to developer options. You will search developer in your that search bar, search developer. You will see developer options. Come down and enable these 4 things. If you don't have all these 4, maybe if these 2 are there, USB debugging and install via USB, at least these 2 should be on. Okay. Yes, in Flutter. Yeah. Okay. Just give. Okay. 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 Done. Yeah. 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 You have these 4 options. USB debugging, install via USB. These 2 should be enabled. Other 2, I don't care. These 2 should be enabled. USB debugging and install via USB. Enabled. Right. Okay. So Sahil, once you do, just let us know here so that I can continue. Got it. Okay. So, yep. Uh, so again, I will show you in Android Studio. Here you will get your device, whatever name is your device of. You will get it here, all the devices that are connected. Okay. No need to start any emulator. Your device will start hanging. Your laptop will start hanging. Don't do that. Just that's why I'm suggesting to use a physical device. Okay. So now we'll continue. Okay. Install via USB isn't seen on my end under developer setting. Which device you have, bro? Okay, just even if you don't have, just connect it and try to run it. If you okay, yeah, then leave it. Just connect it and start. Yeah. Okay, so in Android Studio, here you will see your device. In VS Code, I don't suggest you to use for now because I've done a setup. That's why I can see here. You will also see, not now maybe, but you will see. Don't worry. Okay, so now again it got closed. Okay, so now let's try to read this. Okay, this is the theme of your application. See, material app. Yeah, I will have to talk about this widget. Everything is a widget. Again, I am saying everything is a widget. So you have a build widget, you have a material widget. Build widget basically is a function. You can see a function returns something, right? Similarly, you can see a build widget is also returning something. Now these, what it is returning now actually is, if I come to the build function code, this is a material app code. You can see it is a class. Okay, it is a class called material app. Inside that you have a constructor. This is a constructor. The constructor has these many properties. Similarly, build is also a constructor. Okay, it is a property of this widget. It is a property of this. Here you have something called build. You will see here below if you find it. Okay, and so build widget you have, and inside that you have many. You can use actually any sort of property, but first property you need to give your to your application is material app. Without a material app you can't see any sort of theme only in your application. Okay, now what a material app is, even here theoretically I have written it. Okay, what it has, it has a title, it has a theme, it has a home. These three are the basic properties of a material app widget. You can see title. Now this title which you are seeing now, Flutter demo, this is basically, see, when I try to do like this, you can see Flutter application. This is written, right? Flutter application. So when I change this, whatever I change this to, when I actually compile it and see, now it is running in a debug mode. It is running in a debug mode. You can see this red label. Okay. There are four types of mode. I don't remember two for now, but I remember two: debug and release. Debug mode is basically the time when you are running it. Release mode is the final, like after compilation, you get an APK and you run it, and that is the you know release mode. Okay, so let's read this now. The theme thing. Try running your application with the Flutter run. You will see the application has a blue toolbar. Currently, Flutter has changed its version. I think it's this, but you have a purple app bar. Okay. Then without quitting the app, try changing the seed color in the color scheme below the colors, green and all these things. Okay, they have written some things. Uh, Actually, they have tried to explain you practically that do the changes here, the seed color, try by yourself. Okay, so see, currently they have given here deep purple. Na? If I change this to green, actually what he's saying, let's try to do that. Okay, and you will see that, see. Okay, so basically actually color scheme, even you have even you have a property called font here, and you have some more properties. So this basically is defining a theme of your whole application. Okay, so suppose if I have given here green. Okay, and I try to prepare a app bar in some other widget, not inside this, somewhere else, and if I don't specify a color, it will be taking it as green. Okay, so this is basically a default color that you are giving here in the material app, particularly inside your theme. So you are making a theme of your application, and use material tree is basically a property. Just now they have added this particular thing. Maybe if you are using old version of Flutter, you will not see this property. Okay, material tree is a current version of material library that you are seeing here. Okay, and then inside your material app itself, you have again a property called home. Okay, now what is this home property? Actually, home is a property of your material app, which actually tells from where to execute. Okay, mark my words. It is telling from where to execute. Clear? So from where to execute, see what I have given here. I have given my home page and I have given a title. Now, why I have given a title? It will be revealed inside that particular class. But I am telling it to, first of all, the first route that I'm giving, this is called a route. So the first route that I have given is called my home page. Got it? So my homepage is the class that firstly, the first entrance of my application. No. Just now joined. I have no idea what he's speaking. Will recording? Yeah, your recording will be shared. Don't worry. So, yeah. The entry of your application, the first screen that you see. So, yeah, I'll close this. The first screen that you see on your application is the class that you give here. So I have given here my home page. So I will be seeing the first page as my home page. You have a button here. When you click here, you see that the count is increasing. Now this looks so simple, right? This looks so simple, but the code behind this is, again, developer knows that. Okay. If you want, that also will be done, Aditya. Okay, so see, in my homepage, what I have done is, now let's come to the homepage, this particular class. Okay, we have this homepage now, stateful widget and stateless widget. Now comes the time I will tell you about stateful and stateless widget. Okay, if you want some sort of PPT on that, that also I have, but I will try to explain you simply like this. Okay, what was the name? Okay. Okay, guys, see, I'll just draw a simple screen here, a simple. Okay, I will try to draw a simple um, sort of screen here. Okay, let's suppose this is your phone screen, and let's suppose there are some sort of things that change. See, things that change. Okay, in this project that you are currently seeing on your screen, you have nothing is changing, only this count is changing, right? Only this count is changing. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Even if I reset, did it close? Okay, let it run again. Okay, so that count is changing. Okay, now count change is basically happening, that means the whole application is running again. Maybe, like, see, suppose if I come to my any website, I come to any website. Okay, and if I type here some sort of, like, if I change this Samsung to something else. Okay, suppose I type here Oppo. Okay, and I don't click on this icon, or I don't give it a reload, unless I don't give, is it gonna reload, or is it gonna do like any process is gonna happen? No, there is a button here given in order to, um what do we say, like, this button is given in order to interact with the user. So user interacts with this button. As soon as he clicks on that, the results come based on that. Okay, now for web it is a different method. Web actually reloads everything, but our Flutter application don't. Our Flutter application will render only that part. Okay, and that is possible only because of a stateless widget. Now that's what I was telling you about stateless and stateful, right? So now I will suppose this, here you have this number. Suppose here you have this number 2. Okay, now this 2, and there is a button here. So when I'm clicking on this button, this 2 is changing to 3, 3 is changing to 4, 4 is changing to 5. Okay, now tell me one thing. You would all, this is for sure that, like, maybe if there are first years, I don't know, but you would have run a simple program of C++, or you would have run a simple program of any sort of thing. Okay, so when you do that, okay, just let me open that pad. I want to just show you one thing. Okay, difference between a stateless and stateful widget. Understanding this, people don't know it. Okay, and this is very important for me to explain you guys. So when I run this, okay, you can see that I get my output here. Hello world. If you are facing any problem because of this, then please try to. How can I shift this? Leave it. Hello world. This is my first code in Dart and false. Okay. I change this code to hello world or anything. Okay. I just change this code. Before I click on this run button, is it gonna change me in the terminal or in my run window? No, right? I need to click on this, then it is going to compile the whole code. What do you guys think? When I click on run button, does it compile the whole code, or it does only read this line? I'm asking a question. Just if you can reply, just tell me. When I click on this run button, this code is compiled, whole code is compiled, or only this single line, fixed line? Whole code, right? Whole code, right? So in Flutter, if I do the same, when you are preparing an application and if you are doing the same, that each and every time you make a small change, you are like compiling the whole code from the main function again. Do you really think it's, manageable, or won't it be like, very much irritating for the developer? If you guys are doing video editing or some sort of video editing thing, if you guys do, you will know that particular hectic thing, that rendering of the whole video that takes around 1 hour, right? So stateful widget and stateless widget, two widgets were made for this only. Okay, so when you don't have any change on your screen, when you don't have any sort of uh, change based on a interaction or something like that, you use a simple stateless widget. Okay, now stateless widget, when you use, actually you can change the colors, you can change these basic things. But if you want to change something on the basis of some interactions, or there is a change from the backend, or you have some API connected to it, and from some API the data is coming, and then you want to change it, then you need to be specific that you need to use a stateful widget. Okay, because stateful widget is responsible for changing the state of your application. Mark my words again, state of the application. See, some things are keyword. Okay, so you should remember that. uh, I'll remove this. See, I have written everything about how a stateful and stateless widget works actually. This is about stateful, I guess. Yeah. Let's try to understand this diagram. Okay, let's try to understand this diagram. I guess this will make you everything clear. Any doubt? Okay, Abhinav, I'll repeat it. Okay, I'll just explain you with this particular thing. Okay, how a stateful widget gets rendered. Okay, so see, you have the application, you have the user. Okay, this is the line of a user. What to do? Let me make it full screen. Okay, yeah, so this is the line of a user, and yeah, this is the end-to-end user thing. You have the Flutter app, the application that you are preparing. The user needs to interact with the application, so user is sending something to the application. User is sending some sort of interaction or some data is also transferred, right? You have some fields, you enter your user ID, password, or something like that. So user interaction basically is done from the user side to the Flutter application or the application. Okay, now what is the responsibility of Flutter application? What should be the response from the application? It should be like there should be some sort of display change, right? There should be, see, mark my words again, there should be some sort of display change. If I am having this application, okay, if I'm having this application and I'm clicking on plus, the user clicks on this plus icon, and there is no change here. Okay, there is no change here. How does the user comes to know that there is some sort of action that I have performed? How are you going to know that? Right. So this is very important that we, as soon as it, gets some user interaction, you have to do some change in the display and you have to show it again to the user. So this is from the Flutter app to the user. Then again, user interacts with the UI. UI means basically your front end. And then again, you update the UI based on that. This is a process that goes on between here, and this is a physical thing that takes on physical thing. Okay, the user can see this. Now what the user can't see, let's discuss that thing. On the behind the scenes BTS, what is happening? Okay, see, what does the Flutter app do when a user interaction is taken place? See guys, I have made these lines. This is meaningful lines. Like if I have made this line here and this line here, that means it means something. This is in an order. Okay, see, so now Flutter, the user makes an user interaction. The Flutter app creates an instance. How it creates an instance? It's like when you click on that plus icon, it creates an instance. Stateful widget is the widget responsible to render, or responsible to accept that particular instance. Okay, and that instance, now it will create a state. Okay, it will create a state, and this is the setting thing. Okay, someone is asking some doubts. Okay, yeah, so stateful widget is going to create a state. Okay, and then your state, and see, this state basically means the what state your application is on currently. Like, see, currently my application is on which state? It is one is written. You have a app bar, you have some text here, you have this particular number, you have a button. This is a particular current state of the application. As soon as I click on plus button, the state, like this particular thing happens. User interaction, an instance is created, a state is created. That state is going to change in the behind. Then again, that state gets attached to the stateful widget. Stateful widget again renders the widget. Which widget? This widget. One, only one. Okay, please keep in mind, the whole screen is not getting rendered. Only this particular number is getting rendered again, and then again show to the display to the user. So can you see this whole like thing is getting into a cycle? Then again, user is gonna do some interaction, trigger state change, update state, reflect state change, re-render widget, update UI. So this like diagram is a particular diagrammatical representation of how a stateful widget, I'm not talking about stateless widget for now, only a stateful widget works. I hope you understood everything. Okay. Now I'll show you the difference between stateful, stateless widget. Currently, when I'm clicking on this plus icon, you can see that here you have this. Okay. Now let me show you the difference. I'll come to the Flutter project again. One thing which I will do is I will add a print statement. I will add a print statement. Okay. Okay. I will add a print statement here. I'm gonna print this underscore counter. Okay. Okay. So what by printing this, what I'm gonna prove is that whatever number is here, whatever number is here is gonna get printed here. Okay. So see, I need to reload it once. Okay. See, when I reloaded it, it didn't become 0 again. So now you will have a thought that is it getting saved somewhere that it didn't become 0? He just reloaded the application. Then why didn't it change? Guys, it is not changing because as I told you, when you reload the application, only that particular page is re-rendered. Only that particular page means basically this class, my home page. Only this class will get re-rendered and not the whole application. But when I click on this restart, now see it becomes 0. That is the difference between reload and restart. When you do reload, that particular class or that particular thing is just reloaded. And when you, so if you do some color change, if you do some text font size, font weight, or all these things, that you can see when you reload. But when you have to do some major change, like changing the state of application, that is done only by restarting. Okay, so as you saw, I did restart and now it becomes 0 again. So now let me press on this plus icon, and here I have the output 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is synced. Okay, both are changing. Now let me show you the difference between stateless, stateful widget. And how I'm going to do that is I am going to change the stateful to stateless. So for that, what I need to do is I need to comment out some lines. Yeah, I'm commenting this line. Then we need to comment this line also. Then we need to comment all these lines. Okay, automatically I'm getting some error here saying that set state thing. Okay, so yeah, now first thing I need to declare a stateless widget and I need to put all these code inside that stateless widget. Okay, and one more shortcut I will tell you: to create a stateless or stateful widget, just write here STL for a stateless widget and click on this. You will get a stateless widget in front of your eyes. You don't need to write the whole code. Okay, so Flutter makes it simple for you. These are called snippets. Okay, now let me cut it out and let me paste it inside this stateless widget. Okay, so now let's see what error do we have. Okay. So we need to change the constructor first. Just copy it from here. Just change it here. Change the class name. Okay. And okay, you will have below also somewhere. Yeah, first of all, remove set state is a thing which is available only for stateful widgets. So you can't use a stateful widget now. You can't use a set state function. Okay. Now what error is this? Try to find out. My home page. Oh, sorry. Okay, so now this is working. This is working. Everything is okay. Fine. Okay, create a variable. Okay, fine. I'll remove this. That's it. Okay. Widget dot title. This is coming because of. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just give the title here itself. Hello, that's it. Okay, and I'll remove it from here. Okay, and let's change the constructor back to. Let's remove this. Now this is a code, so we'll just leave it. Don't worry, we'll change and see all these things. Okay. Okay, so now it is ready. Now it's ready. Now we will be running the application again. Okay, now just see what happens. The same screen will be there with a 0 and the tight app bar has changed. App bar, if you want to see the same thing here, just change here. Okay, so now see, now if I click on plus icon, if I click on plus icon, you will be seeing that where is our function? Here is our function. Okay, now tell me, I'm asking a question, just reply in the chat box or however. Will I get my I know you guys don't know about stateless widget, but obviously I'll tell you this thing that it won't get changed here. But will it internally, will this counter get changed when I click on that plus button? Internally, okay, internally will it get changed or not? Okay, some no's, some yes. Yes. Anyone else wants to answer? Yes. Okay, so everyone is saying yes. So obviously, yes, it will be changing. Because see, this is a proper Dart code. Okay. This increment counter is a Dart code and it looks similar to C++ and also Java maybe, right? It looks similar to a normal, it is normal code. So when I call this function, obviously it's gonna run. Okay, now that particular thing to show it on the screen, that is the work of Flutter, right? What is the Flutter work here? To show it on the screen. But Dart's work here is to use this function and do the particular options. So now if I try to press on that plus button, let's do that and let's see what is the difference between stateless and stateful widget. So you can see here nothing is changed, but internally it is happening. And just see now, see, I'll just like change all the things that I did here. I will again make it to make back it to like same thing what it was, stateful widget. Okay. Okay, done. Yeah, so all the changes are back, right? And now I will not restart it. I'll just give it a reload and see, this is back. This is back, but again, this plus icon is not back. It is already 0. Now, again, one more question. If I click on this plus button, will this change here or not? One more question. Will this change or not? Yes. Okay. Okay, fine. But will this, what will this 0 become? Can anyone tell what will this 0 become? Will this 0 change or not? Or if it changes, what will it become? Cool. That means everyone understood what is stateful and stateless widget. And that's what I wanted to explain. And that's why I was saying I believe on practical things. And here is the thing. See, guys. Now, what is this? Now, chat options. What happened? Stopped. Okay, now why it became, why it restarted? Why it got restarted? Anyone? Now, anyone? No, stateful. Okay, fine. Stateful it is. But why did that got like, I didn't click on restart button. Then why it got restarted? Why the count got reset? See, now you have a count of 6. If I give a reload, it gets reloaded, but 6 is 6. And if I click here, it will be 7. It starts from 6. So why didn't it, but that time why when I clicked on reload then started with 1? See guys, I'll tell you now why this happened. When you converted it into a stateful widget, it came here, it saw this my homepage function, class. Okay. When it saw that it was stateful and now it is currently a stateful widget. And as soon as it saw that it is a stateful widget, it started building the build widget. See, when you click on this reload button, this whole build widget thing is run. Okay. So when it started things again, it saw that before that it was a stateless and now it is a stateful. So obviously it will, like, what it will do, its property is to build the whole widget again, and that's what it did. It saw that it is a stateful widget and it was reloaded only, it was not restarted. I would not say that it got restarted, it was reloaded only. But the thing is that cache memory, it gets saved into a cache memory sort of thing, right? It exactly, it won't be a cache memory, but it gets stored somewhere. Like I told you, it is like a state, right? The state got changed when we converted that stateless to stateful. Okay, so this happened there. There was not much thing rocket science into it. Okay, and you will understand the, like, as soon as more applications you will be building, you will understand that where to use stateless, where to use stateful widgets and all these things. Okay, because particularly each and every widget you need to encounter in order to know this thing. Okay, so I hope you understood about stateless and stateful widget. Please give a yes, so that I get clear that, yeah, what is a stateful, what is a stateless widget, you can understand. And this will be obviously in the quiz section. Yeah. So now let's try to understand. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Yeah. So, and this diagram I guess was very clear that how a stateful widget works. Stateful widget is actually a sort of a bit understanding thing. Stateless widget is nothing. It's just, it doesn't changes anything on the screen. That's it. That's a simple line you can just say to anyone. That's it. And if you want to read theoretically and keywords, then obviously Google. Uh, Now coming on to basic widgets in Flutter, we will see this now. And let's try to see the structure skeleton of a stateful widget first. Stateless widget is normal widget. You don't have any sort of very rocket science thing. You just have directly a build widget, the name of class along with the stateless widget thing. You have the constructor. You have this build widget starting, and then you can start building your widget tree. Okay. But yeah, stateful widget has a thing to understand. What do you need to understand is the structure, the skeleton of a stateful widget, how it works. So basically the things that you had in stateless widget inside the directly inside here before, but in the stateful widget, when you define a stateful widget, you need to have like this something. You have a constructor also here. You have all the variables that you need to declare into the constructor. You will declare here itself. Okay, and you have something like this. See, you have something like this. This is basically, like, theoretically, if you call this, what is this happening? This is basically like creating a state of my homepage. See, again, I'm saying you understood this particular thing, right? This diagram you understood. Now, there, the state thing was there, no? The state thing. So basically, this line is doing that only. It is like it is initializing a state for my homepage class, because it is a stateful widget, obviously. So this line is actually declaring, or you can say initializing a state for my home page. Got it? And you can see create state, like state my home page, create state, and what is the name of that that state that I'm creating, my home page state. And that's it. You can see here also that again I have created a class here. This is created by Flutter itself. Don't worry about that. You don't have to write these code. If I show you, example.dart, something like that. And if I want to create a stateful widget, stateless widget, just write stl and click this button, and you can see a stateful widget, a stateless widget will be created. And if you want to create and directly you have to start writing your code from here. Okay, you don't have to see anything, just remove this and start writing your code. That's it. Okay, it's that easy. And to create a stateful widget, just write stf, come down, press here, and here is your stateful widget. Give the namings. You can see that all these places are selected. So this is selected in order to give a name. So suppose if I am preparing a login screen, so just write here login screen. That's it. Now it's not compulsory that you use the same name here of login screen, so login screen state only. But it's suggested that whatever name of the class is, just put a state word after that and use it like that. Okay. So this, it's that easy. You don't have to write this whole code for a stateful widget. Even like I obviously, if you have this functionality, why will I write? These snippets are given by Flutter. So that 2 GB thing which you downloaded in Flutter, these things were there. Okay, in that. Okay, now let's come to the part where we start our first thing. This is a function. Function, you know what is a function. So we will see where this function is called. That's it. Now let's come to our 73 line directly. What is this override keyword? I'll be telling you. Just give me a second. Okay. When I talk about this override, this 73 line, build widget. Now, build widget is a widget which actually is the you saw that, right? You saw here it was already written only. What it was written. This widget is the root of your application. So this build widget is the root of our application, and this build widget is the root of my homepage class. So similarly, actually, you will have to have a build widget in every stateless or stateful widget you create. Again, mark my words carefully. In every stateless and stateful widget that you create, you will have a build widget. Okay, so it doesn't mean that whatever class I make, I will have a build widget. No. Okay, just when you are creating a stateless or stateful widget, if you want to show something on screen, if you want to build something on screen, you need to have a build widget like this widget build, and you saw that in that template code itself, right? That it automatically came. I didn't write that. See, build widget came automatically. I didn't do anything, right? Okay, now let's move on. See, there are some advanced things like build context, this context thing. What is this? So I'll tell you this tomorrow because this is some sort of complex thing. If I start this, it will take around half an hour. If you want to read, you can just scroll it here. Just hover on it. You will get a whole documentation about it. This is again a very good thing about Flutter. So this method is rerun every item set state is called. For instance, as done by increment counter method above, the Flutter framework has been optimized to make rerunning build widgets fast so that we can. Okay, so these are some lines that if you will read, you will understand everything. Okay, now let's see that how a build widget works, or what do you have in your build widget basically. Okay, first I will start with some widgets now. Okay, I will start with some basic widgets, or you will say that some widgets. Okay, so we'll talk about scaffold. First of all, let's see what is a scaffold. Scaffold basically means now this is my phone screen. Okay, this is my phone screen. In order to catch my screen from top to bottom, again, in order to catch my screen from top to bottom, I need to have something, and that is scaffold. I hope you got it, right? So in order to catch from top to bottom, you have something called scaffold widget. Inside scaffold, again, obviously, this is very logical that if I'm catching something from top to bottom, I will be making between the space only, right? So Flutter gave a special, or you can see this is maybe available in other frameworks also, but Flutter gave us a very easy thing that in scaffold you have something called app bar. This app bar you can see, right? You have something called the space you will be given. This is called body. Okay, so again, just try to imagine this. Okay, it's very important that you imagine this. Phone screen you have the phone screen. Okay, in that you catch the whole phone screen by writing something called scaffold. Okay, then this is something called app bar, which is a part of scaffold again. Okay, this is something called app bar, and whatever name I am writing here, it is actually the name. See, and yeah, one more fact I will tell you: the names of widget will be starting always with a capital letter, and the name of the properties of the widget will be always starting with a small letter C. So scaffold is a widget, that's why it's starting with capital letter. App bar is a widget. This app bar, not this app bar. This is a property of scaffold. This is a widget, app bar. This is again again starting with a capital. See, again, background color is a property of app bar, and that's why it is starting with small. So these are some observations that I made, and when I saw that, yeah, this is actually they have made it in such a structure. This is the structure. So app bar, then this whole thing comes in the body part of your phone screen body. Okay, now in order to get something navigation bar, as I told you, remember bottom navigation bar. Yeah, there is something called bottom navigation bar also, and you can get it here whatever things you want. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever number of options you want. Obviously will not keep 10 buttons here. Okay, but you will be having some sort of options. If you don't want to give, now again depends on you, right? So this is how our scaffold widget is divided. Okay, uh now can you tell me, anyone has any doubt till the scaffold thing, please? Important for me, like, am I clear or not? Like, are you guys understanding everything? Like, isn't Flutter easy? Right? So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually Flutter is easy. Like basic things you can understand easily. Then you start, like when you start with it, when you when you are not normal, like you can, when you have started, you will be called a starter. When you will be coming into that, when you will be stepping into intermediate level, at that time it comes that yeah, you may face difficulties. Okay, and that time it will be a time when you will be getting Figma designs and you have to code it. Okay, so till before that it is very easy. Okay, so yeah, app bar you have here. In app bar you have certain properties. You can see background color, so obviously here. And yeah, you can see that background color, this whole thing no one uses this. You can directly use a color widget. Again directly you can write something called color, and you can just give whatever color you want. So colors dot whatever color you want. See, colors dot whatever color. This is a huge list of colors you have. You can give anything. More are there actually. It is okay, maybe this much only. Okay, just you have this. So this is how colors are there in your Flutter. Now here you have a whole option also, so you can choose from your RGB background also. Okay, whatever color you want, just choose that. Okay, so that's it. It's that easy. Okay, this is your background color of the app bar. I know, see, you can't remember this obviously, so you need to explore it. How do you explore it? Now listen that. Press enter, enter. Click on, see, special, this is like shortcut. Control plus space. If you do this on your screen, laptops, it will be very helpful for you. Or if you write the shortcut, again it will be very helpful. Like you can write stf, stl. STL was for creating stateless, stf for creating stateful widget, and one more shortcut. If you press control plus space anywhere, you will get all the options inside that, all the properties inside that particular widget. So you can see you have actions, icon theme, so many options you have. Obviously you are not going to use these options like everywhere, right? So actions is basically used when you have to place some actions, like actions in order. Actions is basically again a widget. It has a data type of list of widget. Okay, again here properly, what is a list, you know? Okay, and this is a list of which data type? Widget data type. Okay, so you have your list of widgets. So here I can place some icon, you can place text, anything. See, automatically Copilot is giving me the code. Let's use this and check what happens. C plus minus C. Wonderfully, it works so wonderfully. This is how you have actions in your app bar. You have more properties. Let's remove these actions. Then you have something called you can see leading. Leading means something you want here, like in the lead. You want to wait. Yeah, you want currently this is a huge text. That's why it is coming till here. If I make it small now, let me make it something small. Then you can see properly. See, so currently it is starting from here. If I give something into leading, again, see, I have a practice. What I do is whatever the property I have, obviously you can't, like, this is impossible only that you remember each and every property of. I'll tell you. Yeah, wait. I haven't came to children. Actually, both are list of widget only, same data type. Okay, same data type. But actions you have only in app bar. Okay, so this is the difference, Mohammed. Actions is a property of app bar. Okay, if you just hover on app bar, you will find it here. See, you will find something called actions here. List of widget action. You don't have it everywhere. Children is a thing which I will be telling you later. Don't be like that for now. Actions is only available in app bar. I hope you got it. So leading, now what I have practiced, that I come on this, I hover on it, and I check what data type it is of. So this data type is widget. Now widget data type, that means obviously all the widgets available throughout Flutter I can use here, but logically. So if it allows me to use all the widget, that means I can use an app bar also. Yes, obviously you can use an app bar here, even it will not show any error. But you just think from your side whether in an app bar, I need an app bar? Inside an app bar, do I need an app bar? So logically, it is like not a thing, but yeah, this is obviously possible. It will not show you any error because its data type is widget. So programmatically, it is possible that app bar can be used inside. Okay, so leading, so what you can keep here, you can keep a text, you can keep an icon, you can keep a image, you can keep any damn thing here. In some applications, you would have seen that they have the application's logo is here, small logo, or yeah, very basic thing. You will have a menu icon here, on which when you click on it, a drawer opens from the left side. So these stunning things you can make it. Okay, and that button for keeping it, just right here, just you need to write here something called, you have a button called icon button. Okay, and you have something called icon in it. You can just use any icon. See, Copilot is working properly. Icons dot menu, everything is given only what to do. Okay, GitHub Copilot is a extension which you can use, but it is a paid version. So, but for our college ID, it is always free. So, if you have a proper knowledge of GitHub, it is very good. If you don't have, just go and try to search that how to create a student developer pack, how to get it from GitHub, and then you can use this extension called GitHub Copilot, and you can see how it is giving the code to me. Okay, so see, in icon button you have an icon and you have a on press method. Obviously you have more things here, obviously you will have more things here, but what all we need, we can use that only. See, you have so many properties in it. So again, I do reload and you can see that you get a icon here. This is a button. See, currently we haven't given any property to it, so it is not performing any action. This on pressed method is the property, so I have kept it empty for now, right? So that's why it is not performing any action. So let's this is how a leading thing works. Now suppose if I want to bring this Flutter text into center, so is there any property for that? Let's see, there is something called center yeah, automatically imply leading center title. Yeah, just make it as true. This is a boolean variable. Yeah, center title, right? And it is a boolean variable. See, so boolean variable, you will just make it to true, and that's it. Okay, and you can see that it came in center. So this is how you work. You have to explore more options in it. Okay, try to be creative. Okay, try to be creative, and if you are not much, then what you can do is you can find some sort of cool Figma designs. Just I have many, so you work based on your designs, right? Like you will get a design from the UI UX designer or whatever. You will see those designs and you will start working, right? So that's how you proceed. How to change font? Yeah, wait. So see, suppose this is a design. So see, there is no app bar here. There is just an image, and this is an image. Okay, don't worry. This is an image. They have pasted it, and you need to ungroup this. Okay, then you have the text. So yeah, we can create these screens. Very easy. It's a very easy screen. They have just kept the image. Then below that you have a text. You have again a text, and this is actually a slider. So you can slide it and get started a button. That's it. So yes, we will be doing these things also, don't worry. Okay, so yep, you have this particular thing which you learned now. You learned about app bar, right? Title, so you can see only what is title. This particular thing which is coming, it is title. Background color also, you saw what it is, center title. So normally, like things that we use, you saw inside app bar: actions, leading, center title, background color, title. Now if you want to explore more, you are free to do that. Okay, let's move on to the second thing that I told you was body, right? Inside the scaffold. So let's explore body now. And body is, as I told you, what is a body property? It takes the body of whole scaffold thing. So now let me talk about some more widgets so that I can enter into properly. Okay. Krishna, whenever I need to stop, just tell me. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we saw about scaffold widget. We have app bar, body, bottom navigation bar, floating action button. We'll see those two things later. Currently, we saw two things: app bar and body. Now let's explore some more widget in order to prepare. See, body is obviously something which is this much space. This is a very big space, right? So you need to obviously explore some more widgets in order to place something inside your body. So let's do that. Okay. So you have something called row, column, container, more you have. Okay. Let's see basic two widgets. First of all, row and column. Now this you need to some sort of imagination. Please do. Okay, along with me. Okay, when I say this word row, when I say this word row, what do you guys imagine? Row is something like a horizontal thing, right? A horizontal thing. Starting from my left corner to my right corner is a row. Okay. When I talk about a column, vertically, I think vertically from top to bottom is a column. That is that easy, right? So yes, actually in Flutter also it's the same. Row means horizontal thing, column means vertical thing. You can replace this thing word by widget. So, but like place your widgets vertically. What will you use? Column. To place your widget horizontally, you will use a row. That's it. Row and column are done. And row and column, without row and column, you can't make any application. Okay. So row and column are very important to understand even container, and one more things which are important I'll tell you. And see, row and column are very easy also. I'll show you what they are actually, what properties they have. Okay, so keep your order like this. When you learn about a widget, okay, try to explore its properties. What does it has? And those properties actually make you a pro, because knowing most of the properties, or like obviously you will not remember by name, but you should know that what does this property do. So I had in mind that I have to place it in center. And obviously, I remembered that, yeah, some Boolean variable is there. So I didn't remember the name center title, to be frank. So I just pressed Control plus space. But before I have used, so seeing that particular thing, I got, yeah, center title. That's it. So this is how, like, keep your thoughts, and it will be very easy. Okay, so now let's see about row and column again. Row is, as I told you, placing widgets from left to right, and column is top to bottom. Placing widgets, see, placing widgets, I am saying widgets. Okay. Widgets means 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is a plural word, and it can be a list of widget. See, till now you should know, we have studied too much. Like, I'm regularly using this widget word. So for Flutter, you have this widget keyword, and this is a data type. It is a data type. Okay, so how you have your integer, how you have your string, how you have your Boolean variable, right? Similarly, widget is also a data type in Flutter. Can we wrap it? Yeah, sure. So we'll learn about row column. That will be the last. Okay. So yeah, how you have these basic data types. Widget is also a data type. See, guys, I'll tell you just a basic thing out of this. Uh, what do we mean by data type? What do we mean by a data type? Data type is something that is prepared by a human being only, right? And that is actually a class written by someone. Okay. So integer is a class or library, or maybe in older languages we didn't have object-oriented programming. So maybe it was like in C you have something called type def and struct, right? In order to define your own data types. So similarly, like int was defined. So this is how a data type is prepared. Okay, so widget is a data type that is available in Flutter. Okay, and here we are using widget data type. So obviously, when you have some data type, you can have a list also of that particular data type. I can have a list of integers, right? I can have a list of string, right? I can have a list of Boolean variables, right? Similarly, can't I have a list of widget? Yes, I can have. So this column thing which I'm showing you here, widget, what is it? A list, right? So this is a list of widget, yeah. So, and column, obviously, when you are working with top to bottom, you need to have a list, right? Because a single widget, if I talk about a single widget, maybe let's take that we want to show some text. Okay, let's this is a widget which shows text called Achintya. Okay, and so can I continue in the same widget? And suppose if I want to show some image here, can I continue in the same widget? Like, this is a text widget, how can it show an image? right? It's not only by words. When you go into the text widget, particularly when you read the code of text widget, which is defined by Flutter, which is given by Flutter, you will come to know that it accepts only strings. Okay. And when it comes to this image data, that will be having separate code. So you will have to use another widget called as image. So this is a widget, then put comma, use another widget, put comma, use another widget, put comma. Unless you are not satisfied, keep using widgets unless your phone screen is not full. That's it. Okay, so this is a, and same thing, put it horizontally, rotate your screen, and yes, that is a column, a row. Okay, so same story exists for both. Same properties also you will be having for column and row, same properties. It's just that rotate your screen, you have a row, you rotate your screen again back, you have a column. That's it. Vertical, horizontal, or top to bottom, left to right. This is the difference between a row and a column. Let's see now how to align widgets. Okay, how to align widgets, list of widgets. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any column here currently? Yeah, we have a column here. See, can someone tell me, just a basic small question, that when I'm using a body, okay, when I'm using a body, as I told you, that is gonna catch your whole screen from this place, this particular, wherever app bar is ending, to the bottom. Okay, so this is a vertical place, right? This is a vertical place. And when you talk about a vertical place, I need to align widgets in this order from top to bottom, right? So obviously, which widget I'm gonna use? Column, right? Column is also a layout widget. It takes a list of children. Children mean basically again widget only, and arranges them vertically. By default, it sizes itself to fit its children horizontally. And horizontal, this line, this line means that whatever widget you are gonna use, like suppose you are using this particular text widget, it is also a column only. See, it is into a column. See, you have used inside a column, you have used the text widget. It's just that inside, it is inside a center widget. That's why it is into center. That's why it is into center, and you have this space empty, and you have this space empty. If I write some widget above my text widget, now it will be coming on top of this text. Okay, and that will be again into like it will align, the Flutter will align it in such a manner that this will come this will come a bit down, and that particular thing will, and it will look like those all three widgets are in center. You increase the number of widgets, it will be coming in center, 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 and like that it will be from top to bottom. Now you can change this center thing to start. You have many things. I'll tell you this property, main axis alignment. Okay, don't worry. So here use main axis alignment to center the children vertically. The main axis here is the vertical axis because columns are vertical. Okay, fine. Now let's try to use this column widget. Okay, let's try to use this column widget into a new file. This will be the last part here for us. Okay, this is a stateful widget that I have made. Okay, so let me use here a scaffold. Okay, a scaffold. Inside scaffold, what should I have? Copilot is giving me body directly. Yeah, one more thing, that it is not necessary that you use your app bar in this Figma design which I showed you. Do we have an app bar? No, we don't have an app bar, right? So it's not necessary that you always have an app bar. You can directly use a body. Okay, there is no sort of limitation on it. And in body, let me remove this. Okay, center, you have center, I'll not use for now. Okay, in body, what I will do is I'll create a column because I want to go from top to bottom. You have a column here. Inside column, you will have, obviously, you can see only children is coming. So children is a property in which you are going to give the list of all the widgets that you want to align from top to bottom. Okay, so top to bottom, basically from here to here. So let's try to do arrange some texts. Okay, first text that I'm going to use is, maybe let's try to say that sorry, text. Okay, I'll tell you about text widget also. Don't worry. It takes a string. That's it. Okay. And let's try to put some other text also. Put a comma. See, as I told you, put a comma, next widget. Put a comma, next widget. This is how it works. So I'm using some shortcut. That's it. Okay. So I have around 6 times I have written login screen. So can someone I'll just try to imagine that how it is going to look on the screen? How it is going to look on screen? Will it be from here? Will it start from center? Will it be from here? How will it look? Okay, if you imagine, it will be a great thing for me, because like from past 1 hour I'm speaking, I will be happy that you guys have understood. From leftmost side, very good. Yeah, right, top to bottom, yeah, and from left side, perfect. Okay, so and if I give start, will it show me the screen? See, I have made this thing, but have I called it anywhere? No, I haven't called it, right? So I have to call it also. So currently we are not studying about navigation, so leave that part. Just I will add it here. I will give the name here. See, whatever I give here, that is my first screen, I told you, right? So I have called this thing now. So see, yeah, see, there is no app bar, as we didn't keep any code for app bar. We started directly with a body, right? So there is a body directly, and can you see, it is current, it is coming on top of my this particular our this phone's this thing. What do we call this? I don't know. We have this time and all, na? It is coming on top of that. If you are doing with me, you will be seeing in your phone screen also. So how to avoid this? Obviously we are not going to do like this, yaar, right? So how to avoid this? You have something called safe area widget again. So what do you have to do? You don't have to type anything, just click on column. Click on column once. You will be seeing a bulb icon here. Okay, click on that, wrap it with a widget, and type here safe area. Not only with safe area, if you, I will be teaching you about more widgets also, right? So I'll show you how to use this bulb icon and everything. Even we will try to implement all the AI tools that we can use into Flutter, that makes our job really easy. You can see how Copilot is helping me. Right. And now you see that it comes below this. So safe area is a widget. Okay. Now again, understand. Okay. One more widget. Safe area is a widget that allows the phone screen, or you can say Flutter, to cover this area, like the phone's area. This is called, you can call it a mobile phone's safe area, you can say. So this part, even the button part, okay, it will not allow to come over here. If you are using that particular I am using this particular three navigations. If you will be using that swiping thing, so you can see that it will come here also. Okay, so safe area allows you to prevent this. Okay, creates a widget that avoids operating system interfaces. See, so nicely they have written here, the top, left, bottom, everything, right? Minimum arguments must not be null. So this is how a safe area widget works, and you saw how a column is working, right? Okay, can someone tell me, you just now saw a code in main dot dot, there we had a column. If I want to put this here in center from here, if I want to align it here, can someone tell me what should I do? I've seen it in main dot dot, that's why I'm asking this question, and this will be the last question, and then we'll be wrap it up. Center widget, someone saying center widget, wrap with center. Okay, anything else? Okay, I'll try this also. Okay, let's try this first of all, what you guys are saying, and let's see the output. Wrap, see again, wrap with center is directly here only. Okay, got it? Fine, right? Again, one more thing. What if I use the main axis alignment and put it as center? Where will I get it? This is very important to understand, guys. What this main axis alignment, see here also you are doing something in center, and when you are wrapping it with center thing, then also you are doing something. So now what will be the output? Now what will be the output? I will tell you. See, when you are using main axis, just hear this word, main axis alignment. Just by this word itself, yeah, right. So when you, just by hearing this word itself, we are talking about the main axis. What is the main axis for a column? Vertical, right? What is the main axis for a column? Vertical. For a row, horizontal. So vertically, it will put it into the center. Okay, and as I have removed the center widget, it will be coming again to this left side. So if I do the reload thing now, you can see that it came center, but again to the left side, because I removed the center widget. Okay, so this is very important actually. I was confused for a very long time that what does that wrapping in center and main axis alignment will do. So try to understand that what main axis alignment, by just hearing this word you will come to know that main axis alignment means what is the axis of that particular widget, of that particular column. Actually, it is only in row and column. Okay, So main exercise you can read again, creates a vertical array of children. Vertical array, you can see again, it is calling itself as array. So this is an array of children which is coming in the center vertically. Okay, and when I'm wrapping it with its center widget, that is placing it in horizontal manner. So same thing. Now if I change it to row, no change I will do, I will only change the name to, it will not give me any error. And you can see everything comes in a horizontal manner, and it is overflowing also. Why? Because actually Flutter doesn't knows where your screen is ending actually, so that's why it is overflowing. Now we will talk about this overflowing things, about row, more about row tomorrow for sure. And till now what all we learned, I'll just wrap it up. Like, you learned about many things you learned today, how a Flutter engine works, how your code gets compiled. We came to the folder structure of Flutter. We saw what stateful widget, stateless widget is properly. We have seen, we have, even if someone asks you how a stateful widget work, you can explain them diagrammatically with a flow chart, with that particular chart which I showed you, right? Then we talked about some widget, build widget. We talked about material app, what is a material app. Then we talked about what is a scaffold, is set state. Later I will tell you what is a build widget, what is a scaffold, app bar, properties of app bar, body, center, yeah, center widget also, we that also. So everything we have seen. Now you have the attendance link also. Now that's it for my side for today. I hope you guys have really enjoyed, and please, like, it's very important that I get some feedback so that I can improve myself tomorrow more and more. So that's it from my side. Thanks guys for being here. It's very important, that patience is very important, you guys have showed it. So thanks for that. Thanks for listening to me.
Okay, so you have the attendance and the quiz link in the chat box. So you can give a minute. It hardly takes a minute to fill it, or just 2 minutes. Once you fill it, we'll be closing the session with the thank you note. That's it for the day.
Because whatever documentation is shared by him, yeah, reading documentation is really very tough job. It's like that, but still I will tell you how to read it in a proper way, and you will enjoy it, and you will feel different from other developers, from other Flutter developers. You will feel like unique, that yeah, I know how to read a documentation. Reading documentation is an art. Okay, because obviously our Flutter, all the things are available on documentation. If you skip that and you go to other platforms, those will not be updated. Flutter's documentation will always be updated. So I'll tell you that also. We will be using from tomorrow, I will try that. I will be using ChatGPT also into our application, like sort of how to give prompts to ChatGPT in order to create stunning UIs. Okay, so that will be really helpful for you guys. Okay, so yeah. Guys, tomorrow we will discuss about the quizzes also, like theoretically how what answers are proper and all these things. Okay, so we'll discuss about quizzes also.
We will be closing the session in 5 more minutes. So please wait. Let everyone give their attendance and quiz. Recording will be shared within tonight or tomorrow morning maximum. It depends upon the size of the video.
As we have come to the end of this session, I hope today's session was interesting and exciting. I extend my thanks to our resource person, Mr. Achintya Singh, for patiently teaching us the basics of Flutter and clarifying all our doubts. We truly appreciate your efforts, sir. We hope to see you all in the subsequent sessions too. Thank you all for a valuable Christmas. Also, the meet will be on till 8:15, so those who are yet to give attendance can go.